Okay, students, a very warm good afternoon. Let us discuss the model question paper. Okay, I will be discussing grammar with you all students. So grammar starting with question number 23, that is comprehension. Yes, students, I would suggest for comprehension, even if you spend 10 to 15 minutes, it is worth it because when you attempt all the 10 questions correctly, nobody can deprive you your 10 marks. Okay, so be very careful, read the passage carefully and then attempt the questions. Most of the time, students, they are simple, straightforward question, but in case the question is a little dicey, if you read the passage and understand it, it will be easier for you to answer. 9 questions, students, will be directly from the given passage. One question they can ask you from grammar, like for example, in the model question paper, that's the 32nd, that means the 10th question is, all dash insects do not have the same chemicals. Okay, and the word given in the bracket is glow. Now, as what we know, students, all dash insects, we have to give an adjective there for insects. So will we write glowed, glowing, glower? Which one will be the best? Yes, it will be all glowing insects do not have the same chemicals. After that, students, so having said that about comprehension, again I repeat, students, comprehension has always been my favorite questions because students mostly score very well in it. Yes, but sometimes due to haste, students overlook some clear simple questions and write the wrong answer. So be very careful there, okay? And next one, students, fill in the blank with appropriate articles and prepositions given in the bracket. I will first read the question and then I'll explain. In this case, students, they have given us 2 articles and 2 prepositions, a and other articles, and we know with and in are the prepositions. Now, I'll read the passage, the paragraph there. It is, Verona is dash lovely city, rich dash history, dash quiet medieval streets and splendid buildings of exquisite pale color. Now, Verona is a lovely city. Okay, first let us use the articles. Verona is a lovely city. Verona is with a lovely city, or Verona is in lovely city. Okay, students, the best answer is Verona is a lovely city. There clearly, students, it is an article for lovely city. With history, so the prepositions there are in or with. So shall we say in history or with history? It will be with lovely city, rich in history, with quiet medieval street and splendid buildings of an exquisite pale honey color. So it will go like that. Verona is a lovely city, rich in history, with quiet medieval splendid buildings of exquisite pale honey color. Students, in this case, you can write the paragraph and write the answers. If you're just writing the answers, students, be very careful. Write it in a straight line, in a vertical way. First answer in the first line, second answer in the second line, and so on and so forth, so that there is clarity, okay? Then the next one is, students, fill in the blanks with the suitable form of verb given in the bracket. Here, students, what we call subject-verb agreement. What is the meaning of subject-verb agreement? Very, very quickly, students. Whenever we speak, supposing I say, the boy eats an apple, okay? The boy eat apple. The boys eat apples, eat an apple, okay? Now, first sentence, a boy, okay? That means the subject of the sentence is singular, okay? So, it will be, a boy eats an apple, okay? And second one, students, the boys eat an apple. The first sentence, the verb is eats, the second one eat. Similarly, students, one more example. A girl writes a letter. The girls write a letter. The first one, subject is singular. A girl writes a letter. The girls, where the subject becomes plural, you see the verb also becomes write. Similarly, students, he is a good boy. They are good boys. Okay? She has a wonderful house. They have a wonderful house. Here also, students, we see in case of helping verbs also, when the subject is singular, we use is. When the subject is plural, we use are. In past tense, the same thing. When the subject is singular, was. When the subject is plural, we use were, W-E-R-E. So, in subject-verb agreement, your first task is to find out whether the subject is singular or plural. The verb is already given to you in the bracket. You have to use it in the correct form. Okay, so whether it's a main verb or the helping verb, it varies according to the subject. For example, we directly go to the sentence. Babar Ali, they have given us two verbs in the bracket there. One is gives and give lessons just the way he has heard them from his teacher. Now, they are speaking about Babar Ali. Now, we know Babar Ali means one boy or Babar Ali means two boys. We know Babar Ali means one boy. That means the subject is singular. So, will it be gives or give? It will be gives. Okay. He gives lessons. They give lessons. Okay. So, Babar Ali gives lessons just the way he heard from his teachers. There dash no building for school. So, there is no building. Again here, students, building is one, singular. They are speaking of a singular subject. So, will it be is or are? It will be there is no building. If they had given us buildings, there are no buildings. There is no building. There are no building. Okay? There is a snake crawling on the ground. There are snakes crawling on the ground. There, student, snake singular is. Snakes plural are. Okay? So, similarly, students, there is no building, singular, that's what is. And the last sentence says, but he dash managed to run classes for hundreds of students. But he means again singular when the subject is plural. That means if there is more than one person involved, then we say they. So he means singular. So we will say, but he has managed or but he have managed. It will be, but he has managed. He has managed, they have managed. Okay, so students, these are the basic rules. Okay, we have to understand. First step, again I repeat, find out the subject, whether it is singular or plural. And remember, students, the verb or the helping verb, whatever it is, will change according to the subject. If it is singular subject and the helping verb will be is, was, has. Okay, that will be the verb will be in that form. Supposing the subject is plural, then it will be were, have, are, were or have. Okay. Similarly, students, remember this one sentence. He writes a letter, they write a letter. Writes. So, Babar Ali gives. Okay. Lessons just the way. So, when it is singular, gives. When it is plural, give. Okay, in this way, students, you can prepare your own sentences. Then the subject may be singular or plural. The subject may be in proper noun or in the form of a pronoun. No matter what, but one can easily find out whether it's a singular, subject is singular or plural, and accordingly you have to use the verb. We change the verb of the sentence, students, in subject-verb agreement. The subject remains as it is. Okay, now next one, students, we go to correction of sentences. The first one is, now in correction of sentences also, students, we already have this prejudice that correction of sentences are very difficult because they are in many forms. We have done about articles, correction, wrong use of articles or prepositions or redundancy or wrong use of words or question, wrongly phrased question, something like that. But don't worry, relax, you will get it. For example, students, Kumar is an engineer. That is a sentence. Now, what is the mistake there? Kumar is an engineer. Okay, because engineer starting with the E, the basic rule, Kumar is an engineer. Next one, I get up at 6 a.m. in the morning. This is a case of redundancy, students, and very often they give a sentence with redundancy. That means, students, what is the meaning of redundancy? Redundancy means saying the same thing in a different way. For example, students, this morning or maybe the next morning, mommy asks you to get some milk for the house. Now you go to the shop and the shopkeeper says, okay, 20 rupees for a packet. Now you either give a 20 rupee note or you give 20 rupees change. You won't give first 20 rupees note and again the change. If you do that, you have paid him extra. You have paid him 40 rupees for a milk packet which is only 20 rupees, costs only 20 rupees. Similarly, students, you have to use your words in a way that you have to be very thrifty, use only as much as necessary, not saying the same thing in different ways. Here, students, we have the sentence, I get up at 6 a.m. in the morning. Now here, you either say, I get up at 6 a.m. or you say, I get up at 6 in the morning. Don't say both. Then it becomes a case of redundancy. Okay? For example, many a times, when we utter the sentence, we say something like, please return back my money. Students, in that sentence, back is redundant because when you are saying return, okay, it means that you have given the person the money and you're asking it back. So you only say the word return only means asking something back. So don't say return back, okay? Or, when it is to be restored to its original owner or something has to be paid back, then we say return, okay? So never say return back. Or my father returned back yesterday from his tour. Don't say return back. It is return. That means it's understood that he had gone somewhere out of the city, out of town, and now he's come back. So don't say return back. It returned is enough. So another example of redundancy, saying the same thing in two different ways. Okay, many a times we say, come just now immediately to the class. So what does it mean? Come just now, you say come just now to the class, or come immediately to the class. You can't say come just now immediately, because again it becomes redundant. But the meaning of both is the same. So we don't use both, we use one of the two. So that is a case of redundancy, and this sentence is an example of redundancy. You either strike off AM and say I get up at 5 in the morning, or you can cancel in the morning and say I get up at 5 a.m. Okay, coming to the next one, students, the narrator could not. This is a sentence with homophones. Now students, I believe we have already done that. First let me do the one in the paper and then we can do some more. Okay, this one says the narrator could not dash the humiliation. So the sentence is supposed to be the narrator could not bear the humiliation. But what they have done, they have given us two spellings for bear. Okay, the narrator could not bear. One is B-E-A-R and the other is B-A-R-E. Bear and bear, both are pronounced in the same way, but the meaning varies. Bear, B-E-A-R, bear means to tolerate something, to put up with something. Okay, now students, B-A-R-E means to reveal everything, to show everything is bared. Okay, he had to bear his past to the people or something. Or bare means also minimal. Okay, they had the bare things of life. So B-A-R-E is not B-E-A-R is better here. So we say the narrator could not B-E-A-R bear the humiliation. Similarly, students, we can do some more examples. The first one, the elephant said that he would return his kindness. Okay. Now here they have given us two spellings for return. One is W-R-I-T-T-E-N, and the second one is R-E-T-U-R-N. Now it's very obvious, students. The first one is written. Okay, when we write written, and the second one is R-E-T-U-R-N. It's taken from your lesson. The elephant said that he could not return his kindness, not return his kindness. Okay, so it will be return. The second one, students, the lion wanted peace and tranquility in his kingdom. Now for peace, they have given us two spellings there, students. One is P-I-E-C-E and the second one is P-E-A-C-E. Which one is the correct one? Yes, the second one, P-E-A-C-E. P-I-E-C-E is also peace, pronounced as peace, but it means give me a piece of the cake, or I need a piece of paper to write the address. So that is P-I-E-C-E. He gave me a piece of advice, where P-I-E-C-E means a small part or part of something, okay? But its peace means what we call tranquility, quietness, without any confusion. Then we say P-E-A-C-E. The third sentence is, the man was given a dash to build a new hut. The words there are site. Okay, the man was given a site to build a new hut. There also, students, we are given two sites. That means the first one is spelled as SITE site, and the second one is SIGHT site. Which is the correct one? Yes, SITE. The man was given a site to build a new house, an area, a land. So it will be SITE. SIGHT means it is about seeing, sight. His sight was restored. We have a good sight, the ability to see. That means sight, to see something. So the SIGHT, the correct answer there is SITE, the land, the area. Okay, so the site. Okay, now the next one, students, we go to so this is about what we call as homophone, students. Homophones are those words which are pronounced almost the same way, sometimes in the same way, but their spellings may vary. Okay, so we have to be alert there, okay, and write the correct spelling and the given word. Okay, after that, students, they say complete the sentence with the right form of word given in the bracket. Okay, that is what we just did. Then, students, followed by we have jumbled segments. Jumbled segment means, students, they will give you words in a random form, in a disordered form, and you have to arrange it in the proper way. There also, students, firstly, mostly I would say 99 or 95% times, start the sentence with the main verb, the subject. Okay, then you can take the helping verb, the verb, and then the object. Go in that order. Like, for example, students, here they have given us some words like her, will, the, keep, goddess, and the last one is word. Okay, so I will take it as the subject, okay, which is likely to be the subject there, the goddess, then the helping word will keep her word. So the sentence precisely will be the goddess will keep her word. Okay, so in this way, students, you can do the jumble segment. Next one, after that, add a question tag. Now, add a question tag, students. They have given us the boys were saving money. In this case, students, the verb is already in the sentence, and all you have to do is the boys were saving money. Here, students, a positive sentence gets a negative question tag, and a negative sentence gets a positive question back. The boys were saving money. In this sentence, there are no negative words. It's not weren't, no, not, nothing of that sort you can see. It's clearly a positive sentence. So we have to give a negative question tag. That means, students, a negative question tag that has a pronoun. So the boys, it is more than one person there. So weren't they, WEREN apostrophe T, weren't they, question mark. Okay, supposing, students, the question would have been the boys were not saving money. Then, students, you will give a positive question mark. You will say were they. It's a very simple sentence. The verb, helping verb, is already given to you. You have to, first step will be to find out whether the question is positive or negative. Negative sentence, positive question tag. Positive sentence, negative question tag. That means, students, WEREN apostrophe T. Before the last letter, you will give the apostrophe mark, and then the last letter put, and then the pronoun of, if it is a male there, he, female, she. If it is like collective noun there, then they. Okay, weren't. Okay. And one more very important thing is, students, many a times, despite telling our students several times, they only write the question tag. Like, that is, they write the question number and the question tag. No. Question tag, you remember, students, a question tag cannot survive on its own. It always tags to the sentence. Okay, it is very weak. It always holds to the sentence. For example, I come to your class and say things like aren't you, haven't you, have you, did you, does he. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. First I have to utter the sentence. Have you brought your books, students? Haven't you, students, shall have brought your books? Haven't you all? It will go like that. Similarly, students, that's why a question tag cannot survive all by itself. It is inane, meaningless. So always remember, and 100%, this has to be done. Even if you write the tag correctly, it will be marked wrong. First, what you have to do, write the sentence, put a comma, and then put the question tag and question mark. Again, students, in any question form, be it question tag, be it question in the right form of do, or be it WH question, your every single word in the sentence structure may be correct, every single word may be correct, but if you have missed the question mark, it will be marked wrong. Please remember that much. Okay, question mark is mandatory. You won't even get half a mark. You will get a big zero there. So any question form has to have a question mark. All your other punctuation marks you have got it right, but you have missed the question mark, it is wrong for sure. So even in question tag, students, first write your sentence, put a comma, and then give the question tag. The first letter of the question tag need not be capital. It will be small only, and accordingly after that it has always to have a question mark at the end. Clear to all of you? Now students, I will give you some more example of question tag. For example, the sentence here is, your skin is harder than mine. In this sentence, what is the helping verb? It is. So we will take is and write it as isn't it, because you're talking of the skin. Isn't it? Question mark. So you will write the sentence, your skin is harder than mine, comma, isn't it? Question mark. Okay, to get your full 1 mark. If the sentence would have been, your skin is not harder than mine, then you will write the sentence, your skin is not harder than mine, comma, is it? Question mark. The next one, I am the king of the jungle. It is again a positive sentence, students. So we will write it as aren't I, okay, negative form. And in positive form, am I, okay, I am the king of the jungle, aren't I, A-R-E-N apostrophe T-I, question mark, don't make it aren't you, aren't I only it will be, okay. And I am the king of the jungle, am I? I am not the king of the jungle, am I? If it would have been a negative sentence, I am not the king of the jungle. As it is a negative sentence, you'll have to give a positive question tag. So we will give it as am I. We can write it as am I. We can't write amn't. Okay, we don't suggest that. It will be aren't I or am I, okay, in positive form. The next one is, the man was not happy with the findings of the commission, students. It's a negative sentence, was not happy. So, was he? Okay, if the sentence would have been, the man was happy with the findings of the commission, it would be wasn't he. W-A-S-N apostrophe T, wasn't he? Question mark. Clear to all of you? Now, these are simple sentences, students. Now, the next one, the skylark sings with me. In this case, students, the sentence does not have a helping verb. You will have to help yourself a little there. Now, nothing to worry, students. Just see, the skylark sings with me. What is the verb in the sentence? Sings, isn't it? Sings is in present tense or past tense? It's in present tense. So, you will write, does the skylark sing with me? Okay, right. Supposing students sings becomes sing, and another the skylark sings with me. Okay, so the verb is in present tense, so you will give the question tag. You have to give the question tag. So you will write it as a sings in present tense. The question tag will be doesn't it? Okay, D-O-E-S-N apostrophe T, doesn't it? Okay, supposing the sentence would have been, the skylark sang with me. There, students, again you have to give your own tag. You have to your own verb there. So students, sang will be past tense. So didn't it? Understood? The skylark sings with me. Doesn't it? The skylark sang with me. Didn't it? Okay, don't change the sentence. First sentence, if the helping verb is not given to you, look at the main verb. Find out whether it's in present tense or past tense. If it is in present tense, doesn't. If it is in past, didn't. Okay? Right. Now, the next one is, students, we go with the change into question beginning with the right form of do. An elephant made friendship with the man. Now, just now the rule that I explained to you all, an elephant made friendship with the man. So they want us to give the right form of do. Okay, so we are through with question tag, students. I've come to the next question. An elephant made friendship with the man. Now, made is, students, past tense or present tense? It's past tense. So if it is past tense, you will write it as, did an elephant make friendship with the man? I have done two things. My first step, find out what the verb of the sentence, in which tense is it. Then students, if it's in past tense, write the sentence with did. Then students, the verb should be changed from past tense to present tense. Did an elephant make friendship with a man? Okay, now next one, did the elephant make friendship with the man? Okay, that will be it. Next one, student, if the sentence would have been, an elephant makes friendship with a man, you will write it as an elephant makes friendship. Okay, so makes is in, means the verb is in present tense. So it will be, does an elephant make friendship with a man? Makes become make, and you will write the question word does. Like for example, the lion replied in a noble voice. Now, how will I frame the question there? Replied is past tense or present tense? Past tense. So the sentence will be, does the lion reply in a noble voice? Okay. Supposing, next one, we will take milk becomes hard. Becomes is present tense. So I'll have to use does. Does milk become hard? Okay. One more. He puts it into his pocket. Okay. He puts. Okay. So puts means, students, puts is present tense. Does he put it into his pocket? Okay. Then fear becomes a delirium. Does fear become a delirium? Fear becomes a delirium. Does fear become a delirium? Chandru plucked some leaves. Plucked is past tense. Okay, so did Chandru pluck some leaves? So you'll understood. First step, look at the verb. If the verb is in past tense, take did. When you make did, students, you will have to change the verb, the main verb of the sentence, from past tense to present tense. If the verb is in present tense, with a slight modification, you will have to use it, and you will have to use does. Okay. Now going to the next one, students. WH question: when, where, how, why. The sentence there says, Nicole and Jacob were selling strawberries. Okay, and the underlined verbs are strawberries. Okay, the verb already is there, students. What were Nicole and Jacob selling? Apart from the underlined words, all other verbs will come in your sentence. Okay, WH question forms. If the verb is not given to you, again the same rule, students. If the helping verb is not given to you in the sentence, then what you do is, if this main verb is in the past tense, did. If the main verb is in the present tense, does. Accordingly, you frame your question. What, where, how, why, etc. WH question forms. Apart from the underlined words, underlined word or words, all other words of the sentence should come in your question. Okay, then students, they will give you a table and you will be asked questions. It's very simple. You have to read the table and answer the given questions. Letter, students, everything on the left hand side. Don't write from and to. The left hand side, your address, the person to whom the recipient's address, then the date. After that, students, salutation, respected sir. After that, subject. Okay, in brief, brevity there. Okay, now here the question is, write a letter to district health officer requesting him to provide information about precautionary measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Okay, that is, request to provide information about COVID-19 in very brief way. You can write the subject line, and then in 3 paragraphs, students, the first paragraph, they have also given the what should come, symptoms of COVID-19, preventive method, when to consult doctor, availability of medicine. So students, in your first paragraph, you will write about the invitation. I request you to come to our college to deliver a speech on COVID-19, as you know, many people are suffering. And then students, symptoms of COVID, please give, we would be happy if you enlighten us about the symptoms of COVID-19, the preventive methods that we can take, and at which stage should we consult a doctor, and which are the medicines available in the market. With a slight modification in the given information, you can write. And third paragraph, students, please inform us about your acceptance of this invitation, so we can make the necessary arrangement. Very brief letter, to the point. And students, on the left hand side, thank you, yours faithfully, YOURS, not an apostrophe S. Okay, yours faithfully, and then your signature. Then students, after that, dialogue writing, you know, introduction, disagreeing, leave taking, greeting, complimenting. They will give you phrases. It will be matched the column. You have to match with the required function. Then complete the dialogue, students, where here you see Suma, Rima. The dialogue is between Suma and Rima. Suma says, hi Rima, how are you? So Rima will say, hi Suma, I am fine. Then Suma says something, to which Rima says, I came yesterday. Like that, students, you have to see the previous dialogue or the following dialogue, and then you have to write the dialogue. So there's a kind of continuity in the dialogue, okay, consistency. There should not be abruptness, suddenness, that suddenly you're talking about something, you know, it's not coherent. So that is why, students, when did you come? I came yesterday. Suma says, shall we go for coffee and chat? And then Rima says, oh, sure. Okay, something like that. So in your dialogue, students, be very positive, sound very friendly, and very very happy sort of a person. Okay, so as far as possible avoid negative words or negative things. Whenever an invitation is extended to you, very warmly accept it. Okay, then students, the last one, they ask you to frame a dialogue that could have Rakesh has gone to college library to get a book on modern Indian history. Write a dialogue that could have happened between Rakesh and librarian. As you know students, here you have two jobs at hand. To find out whether it's a formal situation or an informal. As it is a formal situation, students, your greeting will be something like hello sir, good morning sir, okay, and then in a very courteous way, okay, seeking the information that they that is suggested in the question. And of course students, there also, as it is for 3 marks, there should be maximum 4 exchanges, not more than that. You can limit it to 3 if but don't write pages together of dialogue, so see that it is to the point. Okay, so with that students, in my next video maybe we can discuss more such question papers, so all your doubts are solved. Okay, thank you students.